Budweiser, 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 Budweiser. Did that work? I don't know if that worked. Let me know if that worked or not. Let me know if it's still working. I had to mess around with a bunch of stuff last minute. I know there's been a petition to bring the sound effects back, but I had to do it all manually for that one because my Stream Deck and stuff still, it doesn't want to work. It was working the other day when I was playing around, and now it's not. So you guys were in there. I saw the, what is that? What is that we got here? We got a member for 14 months, Dan Ruggs Vegas, and please do the Budweiser soundboard, and all you guys are asking for it. So I loaded up last minute, changed all my sound around for that 1 second. So hopefully it worked. Now I want a $1,000 super chat, please. That was a lot of work. I'm just kidding. Anyway, hopefully the sound is still going good because I have a different input device based on doing that soundboard. But yeah, awesome. The petition worked. All right, so I'm guessing everything worked all right. That's awesome. What does LFG stand for in 2024? In 2002, it stood for looking for group. Hey, Alien Hawk Q, don't worry, you're not wrong there. When I first saw LFG, that's what I thought also, not EverQuest, never played that, but in games in general, LFG was always looking for groups. So that's what I thought for like a long time. You know, this is about 3 years ago now. I thought LFG stood for looking for group. I'm like, why are people looking for group? What do they mean? Just more people together? Everyone get in on this coin or that or that or that. So what it actually means, and I don't even know if it's, it doesn't work. My buttons don't work, so I can't do it. But it stands for let's beep go. You know, kind of, you know, what it's on there. You know, edited version, family friendly. Don't want to lose any monetization stuff here for swearing. But yeah, so that's what it stands for in this sense here. But yeah, I used to always think it was looking for group as well. Anyway, let's do a quick roll call here. I already got that going on. You know, maybe I can, oh, he's right off the get-go, so I'll just put it on right quick. Budweiser, 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 Budweiser. There we go. Appetite, what's going on? Elvada Strokabatis. Frank B. What we got there? What is that? Frank B. Zagatti, what's happening? Skirm's in the house. Alien Hawk Q. Michael Vigdel. Zapirate. Ogre MGTOW. Scrolling through. Rocky's in the house. John Lemon. Message was retracted. J Mining, what's going down? Frank B. Zagatti, already said that, but I'll say it again. Mike Baldwin, what's happening to Mike Baldwin? Rudy Dupachanel, I butchered that one. DJ Mines, just looking around. Mr. Viper himself, unless that's supposed to be stealth mode. I mean, just looking around, what's going on? Miner 00 set 1, what's happening? Scrolling through. First time 13, what's happening? Gaming with Smokey Dan is in the house. Oh, it just jumped on me. I was too slow. Too much of an intro here. Now it just jumped on me. So we got John Lemon. I like that name. That's funny. Waft 007, Aztec Miner, Helix, J-Rod D, Crypto McKell. What's happening, everyone? What are you guys up to? So yeah, let's talk a little bit. 2024. No, now I'm saying 2024, the beginning of the bull run. Now, why is it? It all depends on your perspective of what the bull run is. Now, if you're expecting the bull run is only all-time highs, and from that point on, you know, maybe the month or so leading up into the huge spikes happening on Bitcoin, and then maybe a month or two after, if that's all the bull run is to you, then your bull run is probably going to be very short-lived, just like it was in the previous bull runs, and that is not happening this year. That is actually next year. Probably anywhere between October to December. Most likely it's going to happen mid-November if it follows suit like it did in the previous two. But, you know, around that range, there will be the peak of Bitcoin, the all-time highs. Now, me, what I consider the bull run is when we start seeing consistent days of green. That means no whole bunch of ups and downs and drops of 50%. And that's sure we're going to see dips and everything happen, just like in the bear market where we saw massive falls. And then we saw the odd pump here and there. You know, coin went up 100%, but it's still down 90% based on the all-time high, which in theory, based on the all-time high, it's still down a lot, like 95%. So, you know, that's kind of what we'll still see. We'll still see consistent green days with the odd dips, nothing major, but it's mostly green days happening. And that's going to happen not beginning this year, but probably within the next 4 to 5 months. Let's just kind of bring up the good old Bitcoin price here. Bitcoin price, coin market cap or dealio. Will it pop up? Yes, it is. So let's kind of show you what I mean by this whole perspective here. Now, altcoins are a totally different situation. We have no idea when that altcoin is going to go up. Remember, there's going to be some coins that hit the all-time high this year. That's right, 2024. You know, I'm not meaning it's going to happen like this month, next month, in 3 months or something. But there will probably be some altcoins that do see its peak this year. And then there's going to be some that see their peak probably 2026, January, February. If we look back, well, we'll look at that later on if you guys remind me. But Flux in the last bull run, 2021, it actually didn't see its all-time high till I think around January, early February, after Bitcoin already did it 2 or 3 months later. So altcoins, it's really hard to factor, you know, when they're going to hit their peak. So if you see a coin you're holding go up 1,000%, or it sees like 7 to 10 days of consistent spikes going green, it's could be a good call to say, you know what, maybe it's coming up to its all-time high. Maybe I should take some profits and then maybe save half and see what happens from there. But just be ready, because there will be a coin or two at least that does see its all-time high this year. Majority will all happen next year, you know, within plus minus a couple months of when Bitcoin does it. Altcoins are very funny. If you've been watching a lot of things and paying attention to some stuff, you know, I'm not a trader, not financial advice. I don't know. I just don't know how to follow lines or anything on a chart or anything, but lots of times you'll see altcoins pump, and then all of a sudden, let me just adjust this a little bit there. So you'll see altcoins pump, and then all of a sudden they'll come down, and then Bitcoin will pump. And sometimes it's also reverse order, where you'll see Bitcoin start pumping while alts go down, and then as soon as Bitcoin starts going down, those alts will pump after the fact. So you never know which altcoin will do what at what time, but just be ready. When we talk about the bull run, we're referring to mostly Bitcoin, and that's usually when the market really starts going on. So now we're going to kind of rewind here, and we're going to go back to whatever year it was, 2020. So 2024 right now, we're in 2020. The way I see it, we are sitting in 2020 right now. And 2020 was a very popular year towards the end, you know, towards midsummer, towards the end of the year. For obviously we had Ethereum and everything around. We didn't know what coin would pump at the time, but GPU mining was starting to look decent in profitability, just like it kind of is right now. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. So if we look here, we can see March 14th. March 14th, we're coming up, and this is kind of what I'm talking about, where I think we should see one decent dip, then the bull run will slowly start taking place. So here's just prior to the Bitcoin halving in the last cycle of 2020, which is where we're sitting right now. 2024, the Bitcoin halving is set to happen in anywhere from 3 to 5 months. We'll see as it gets closer, because that date will constantly change depending on network hash rate, difficulty, and how fast blocks are being found. The one number that will never change is the block height where the halving occurs. So that's what we really got to watch, is that one specific block height. I can't remember the number off the top of my head, but, you know, just pay attention to calculators. It'll show it to you. But right here is about where the halving happened, and look at right after the halving, we see just considerable gains all the way up. You know, we're not seeing big dips anymore. It's just solid, nice, steady green, and now we're leading all the way up to 2021, and we can see even towards the end of 2020, we're starting to see decent gains by the end of the year, which we should see this year in theory. And then it just goes, you know, we know what happened from that point on. There's 2021, the full-fledged bull run. Bitcoin hits 2 peaks there, all-time high, happened in November, and that's what we're seeing right now. So this is what I feel is going to be happening. So we're sitting, you know, right about, where are we at? 2019, early 2020. We're right here. So this is all we got left to go, guys. This is where we are. We're sitting in this stage right here in the current timeline in theory based on the cycles. And this is all playing the cycle game, and I'm a firm believer of the cycles here, and this is where we're at. So we're going to come up, and I don't know if we're going to see this big dip or not. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but the point is we'll probably see some type of significant dip, and then from there we'll see the halving, and then bam, we're off to the races. Rocket ship's going. And then keep in mind, guys, it's not going to last forever. It's going to be different this time. It's different this time. You're going to see that everywhere. Stupid predictions, stupid, crazy, high price calls and everything. And then it's going to be called different this time. Yes, every cycle brings in a lot more people, and we see higher all-time highs, especially on Bitcoin. But it's not going to be different. I don't think it is. And then right after the high happens, about 1 year from the high, we're going to see the bottom again. So and here we can see exactly, look at the all-time high. 2021, November 9th, it hit 66,900. And about this stage right here, I don't know if it was a live, yeah, I think it was a live stream we were doing this. We said, all right, guys, about 1 year from now, we're going to see the bottom, and it's going to be anywhere between 10 to 15,000 based on the previous bottoms. It usually drops anywhere from 92 to 96% of the all-time high. I guessed in between 10 to 15,000 1 year, and look at this. We went from November of 2021 was the high, and here was the absolute bottom of Bitcoin at 15.8. I was like $800 off. Well, you could say I was $5,000 off if you go on the low, but I said $10,000 to $15,000 is where the bottom of Bitcoin will happen about a year from the peak, and that's exactly pretty much where it went based on that timeline. Now, we can't predict the bottom to a T on price-wise, but we can, pretty much guess when it's going to happen. And this happened in the 2013 cycle as well, 1 year. So November. With that being said, we're going to come into a 2025 peak. Everyone's going to be saying it's different this time. 2026, be ready. The bottom's going to come again. In theory, we got ETFs happening, this happening, that happening. Everyone always says this is happening. No, use daily news as your normal trading and stuff. If you're a day trader, I'm not, but I do like to follow the cycles, and it seems to play out to a T over the past 2 or 3 cycles. So that's just what I look at. If you want to do quick trading, wait till 2025, sell the farm, sell everything you got, wait a year, buy everything back, wait another 3 years, and you'll be back to this point again, and possibly have the most amount of gains possible. Not financial advice in any way, shape, or form. Not saying it's guaranteed to work out that way, but it does seem to do a pretty consistent thing. And, I know it's not that easy. It can't be that easy. Well, the news doesn't want you to know that. People with power don't want you to know that. But maybe it is just that damn easy. We don't know. Play the long-term game like that instead of the daily things and chew it on your fingernails. Oh, it's going up, it's going down. Ignore it all. Just play the 4-year cycle. You're probably going to be better off with less stress. Not financial advice again. Anyway, let's just see what you guys are talking about in the happening is a happening. Yes, there's one thing guaranteed for sure. I never guarantee anything. That's one thing we learned on the rigs. You never guarantee anything. You could be 1 meter off a TD well that's supposed to be super huge, and then everything just falls apart. But yeah, never guarantee anything. But one thing that is guaranteed actually is that halving is going to happen, and it's happening this year. You know what? Let's just look here on Nice Hash BTC halving. Let's just see what it's currently saying it should happen at. So Bitcoin halving countdown. So right now it's on 106 days, 14 hours, 29 minutes, and 54, 53, 52, 50. Okay, you get the point. It's counting down seconds. But this is the number that matters. Once it hits this block height, 824,649. When it hits that block height, bam, Bitcoin block reward will drop 50%. And it's going to suck if you're a Bitcoin miner and you don't have like 1 cent power at that point. Oh my gosh. But then again, we do have the ordinals and everything in play at this time. And it's going to be crazy. We could see actual bigger Bitcoin blocks in the next cycle than we have ever seen before. We could probably see 20, 30 Bitcoin blocks, depending how jam-packed Bitcoin's going to get. And it's probably going to get pretty darn jam-packed there. So you're going to see some nice profit days with a Bitcoin miner. But again, those miners just use so much power. It's insane. But yeah, so right now, this is the current number that really only matters. This is going to fluctuate and change. What date is this actually saying right now? How come it... Oh, I'm not... back to countdown. Let's go. So this is actually predicting. So it's saying the ETA is currently April 22nd. Remember, we've seen April, we've seen May. I've seen it at March a couple times. But right now, it's currently guessing around April 22nd is when this could happen. And remember, this is going to fluctuate. The only time we can really narrow this down is look at these halving numbers about a week before it's actually going to say. So, you know, we're obviously going to be keeping an eye on this. Everybody's going to be keeping an eye on this. This is information that's going to be next to impossible to miss. But yeah, that's when it's currently looking like. So after that date, we should start beginning. You know, it's not going to be a magical thing, just like every other halving that ever happens. Now, Bitcoin is special, obviously, compared to Ravencoin and other coins that do halvings. You know, usually their price just tanks like crazy after a halving, and all the hash rate leaves and so on. Bitcoin's a different monster all on its own, and the market, obviously, it's the lead market maker for the whole crypto industry in general. But we're going to start seeing some good things happen after that happens, and the whole general thing is going to... What is that halving block? Is that 840? Okay, Magic Lucky is pointing out the halving block there. What are you guys talking about here? What's happening? Do you rabbit? I'm a rabbit, guys, if you guys are unaware. Do you rabbit? We will be able to hit extremely high mining profit like it was in ETH time because mining is already profitable when alt's not even that much, or your thoughts? See, that's a very interesting question, which I have no idea. The honest answer to that is I have no idea. And you're referring to, obviously, you said ETH, and when anyone talks about GPU mining and profitability in general, you're referring to GPUs, I'm assuming, because that is one of the most popular ways to mine cryptos. Now, so yeah, the honest answer, if anyone says they can answer that correctly and with a yes, then they're lying to you. We have no idea. We don't know what's going to happen. So let's just actually go through a scenario. My scenario is I'm really like, we're going to see profitability. Yes, it's going to happen. But I don't think it's going to be like Ethereum. It's not going to be that good. You know, we might have some days where it explodes, but I think once hash rate, the big undecided factor is how much hash rate is out there. How many GPUs are still shut off waiting to turn on? Europe has massive farms that are shut off. There's people out there that, like I said in previous past live streams, there's people with thousands of GPUs that are just shut off because their power prices are too much. They're waiting for certain profit levels. So I've been saying for a while, we won't really see how much hash rate is off until we start seeing about 60-cent profits on, say, a 3070. That seems to be the most popular GPU, so that's the most common at this point, I believe, thanks to the Ethereum gold rush there, that once the 3060 Ti's, 3070 start seeing around 60-cent plus profitability at around 17, 18-cent power, that's when we'll see a lot of GPUs turning on. So where are we at right now? You know, I'm at 11 cent per kilowatt hour right now, and we're just going to look at a 3070. So if we look at a 3070, we are at about 54-cent profit on both the 3060 Ti and the 3070 based at hashrate.no, and I am not showing you the full... Okay, now it's going to be too small for you guys. I apologize. Let me see here. Let's kind of do this kind of... Oh, that's messing it up. No, it's not. Okay, well, I'll zoom in a bit like that. So we're at 54 cents on the 3060 Ti's as well as the 3070s. Now, I'm going to bounce the power up to about 18-cent power right now. So now let's kind of look what things are looking like for a lot more people out there other than myself and, you know, other people that are like... So the 3070 is currently only sitting at about 28 cents. So... Like I said, there's still another 40-cent profits to go up for a lot of people to start turning on. Now, we could start seeing $1, $2, $3 profit on a lot of these GPUs, which would be absolutely awesome. But once farms really start turning back on, which is the unknown factor of how many GPUs are still in the wild, we could go from $3 to $4 profitability, and then the next day wake up and be at like 10 cents. You know, we could possibly wake up and be in the negatives if you're competing with people with like 4-cent, 5-cent power. In theory, if people already have 4 or 5-cent power super cheap, technically they'd already be on anyway. But that's kind of something we don't know about, is how much hardware is out there. Because you add up every GPU coin right now based on what they're mining, I don't even know. I'm just going to throw a rough number out there. Let's just say they're paying miners a total of $4 or $5 million. And I think that's still overcasting. Every single GPU coin out there right now is only 4 or 5. Remember, Ethereum in the bear market before it went POS was paying over $21 million. And that's why Ravencoin, Flux, and all these other coins, even though they were sitting at all-time highs and stuff, that's why they were profitable. If Ethereum would have went POS like the year prior or 6 months prior or anything, all those coins at their all-time highs would probably have been unprofitable, just like we've seen right after the merge, because all those GPUs need to find a new home. And these coins are not paying out enough for the miners to sustain any type of income unless you have like under 5-cent power. So that's the huge unknown I still don't know about, and a big factor why I'm not really giddying up into buying a whole bunch of GPUs, because I just don't know. We have to let the cycle play out. I almost feel like this cycle might be the GPU mining reset, where we're going to see decent profits. Then when the bull run hits, coins are hitting all-time high, and the profits are like, whoa, why is the profit actually not that good? Well, that's because everything turned on. And then people might actually say, screw this, I'm done. See you later. And that's going to cause a reset in the GPU mining department. Remember, just because someone has sold all their GPU farms off and then another miner bought it, that's not hardware that left. That's just hardware that switched from one miner to another miner that's going to eventually get turned back online. So that's not lost hash rate. So if this kind of scenario does play out, then this could be a reset. GPUs will be lost. People will give up. And then 2029 bull run will run into the new profitable time for GPUs, because now people are kind of starting from scratch again. We're going to see another 2 or 3 generations of better efficient hardware coming out. We'll probably be at like 8,000 series NVIDIAs or something by then. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Or wait, what are we at now? We're at the 4. So no, we'll probably be around the 6,000 series maybe. 6, possible 7, depending on how they do their timeline. So we'll see a lot more efficient hardware released for GPU algorithms at that time, and then it'll be a reset, and we'll see the profitability on GPUs come back up again. On top of giving Flux and all these other GPU coins a lot of time to mature and get their product really out there, and then we'll see even higher prices and everything because of it. Got to keep in mind all the block reward halvings and stuff as well. But, you know, that's one scenario that could definitely play out. We just don't know how much hash rate is out there. And remember, at the peak run of Ethereum, it was paying over $60 million a day. Over $60 million. You know, what kind of number? What does that mean? You know, what's 60 million? Well, that's almost double of what Bitcoin is paying right now. So that's the level that Ethereum brought in when it was at the peak there, when it hit like, what was it, like $4,000, $5,000? Canadian, I was mostly following. I was a little over 5,000. I don't know what it was USD, but people are making mad money. Just such an influx of hardware came in online there, and that's what we're dealing with right now. And that's the huge unknown factor. So, you know, I don't know. I do not know the answer to that question. The only way we're going to know is when we actually see the outcome of the bull run and coins starting to hit all-time highs, how much hash rate is going to turn on. That's the only way we're going to know. Right now, it's a huge unknown. We can easily say, yeah, sure, coins are going to pump, it's going to be profitable. But if you know anything about network hash rate and that, you know, and how much Ethereum was paying out and hardware and so on, we could easily turn to unprofitable numbers, even if all the coins are at the all-time high and broke to new all-time highs, depending what the new all-time highs are. Now, I know there's a lot of talk out there. You know, we got a lithium, we got radium, all these coins could pump. You know, you should probably be mining that right now, because possibly by the time the bull run's full-fledged ready to roll, you won't even be mining those coins on a GPU anymore. There's good chance that they're either going to be loaded up with a ton of FPGA farms, which they already slowly are, or we could have ASICs out by then. Nexa, you know, a lithium, there's Blake 3 algorithms out there for Bitstreams coming out right now in testing phases. So we have a lithium, Radiant, Nexa, all these things can be loaded with ASICs and FPGAs by the time the bull run hits. So you can't even calculate that into a GPU mining coin anymore. That's another coin lost to GPUs at that point. So, That's another unknown factor that we still don't know about. There's so many unknown factors. But right now, yeah, it's looking like we're seeing profitability again. GPUs are even looking decent, and things are coming up in profitability. But the unknown is still the hardware that's ready to come back. That's the unknown that you can't answer that question yet. What do we got here? So what do we got in the live chat? I know some people might disagree with me. You know, I'm not trying to step on anyone's toes. It's just that we don't know. We have no idea how it's going to play out yet. Is it normal 200 USD taxes when buying HiveMapper Dashcam S, no duties included? Taxes? What do you mean 200 USD taxes? Buying it, no duty taxes included. Yeah, I depends on your state, I guess. Like for me, well, 300 USD to Canadian is, because we have in Alberta here, we have a 5% sales tax. So in theory, if I Google this right quick, so I go 300 USD to CAD, that would be about, so $401. So we have a 5% sales tax, so 401 times 1.05, so 421. So $20 in sales tax is what I would have to pay. If I ordered it right now, this very second. So yeah, I don't know. I guess it depends on whatever your laws for your states, and it's so I have no idea because a lot of different states there have different laws, different fees, different prices. So that seems steep though. $200 just for extra taxes seems like a lot. I don't know. I don't know. Tax 156 US duty, and duty is 0. I have no idea what. Yeah, I don't know. I can't answer that because, like I said, I'd pay $20. That's it, plus whatever the imports could be, which that revolves around the shipper on whatever they're declaring at that. Most people do declare lower values, so that shipping or import fees are usually cheap. So yeah, I don't know where the extra $156 is coming from. That's pretty insane. Can anyone help me with creating a facility where you can mine 200 ASIC miners? Remember, each miner consumes 5,500 watts. Let's take 6,000 watts each miner just to be safe. Oh my gosh, Crypto Miner X. That's insane. That is, I wish. Creating a facility. So that's a lot of power. I wish I had that type of power capacity. Obviously, you need to deal with a lot of heat in that case. You're going to need some nice vent fans, airflow. That's not going to be cheap. But yeah, that's an interesting concept for sure. That'd be awesome. How's your Jazz Miner making out? Pretty good. Let's actually take a look at that right now. We're going to go look at, so they're online right now. They're at hosting, custom computing, rocking away, doing their thing. Here we can see 10 workers online. 5.99 gigahash is rocking Octa.Space right now, and Octa.Space has nodes coming. They're doing so this stuff isn't here yet, but they just released a new roadmap. I've been mining this the whole time. Everyone's chasing all these other Ethash coins. I just remain on it. Yields go up, yields go down, whatever. I'm just set it and forget these miners, and we'll see what happens when the bull run hits. Hopefully I pick the right coin. But they have nodes coming, not nodes where you send in collateral and then you get paid. Think of it like Vast AI. They're pulling, Octa.Space is doing like a Vast thing where you have your CPU, you got a GPU, node rentals for multiple things. One is a VPS service, one is AI rendering, other type of rendering for other things. They're doing a lot of stuff, and it's all supposed to be coming out this year. So I was talking to them actually this morning in some DMs on Twitter and stuff there, and because I just seen they released their roadmap there. So that's why I got my rigs on there, and we'll just see and hope something happens. Let's jump on over to the ZIL side of things. And here we can see only 8 of those workers can mine ZIL, obviously, but the rewards are looking like 230 ZIL a day. Now, remember, let's take a look at this. Let's go into here and look at ZIL, because this is the big thing about ZIL, and it's sad for the E9 pros that they can't mine ZIL, but it might be good for everyone that they can't, because we don't have that huge spike of whatever those cheap miners were in terms of hash rate spikes there. But right now, ZIL's only at 2 cents. But if we look back to the last bull run, guys, here's the last bull run. 2021, it peaked to 22.8 cents. I actually think it's 23 cents if we get a zoom in, but I can't really hit the peak there. Let's see here. All right, 22.58 cents we're going to go with. So 22.58. So right now, in theory, 22.58. Let's see what that is. If ZIL hits the all-time high again, and remember, guys, we're hoping these coins obviously pass and get new all-time highs here. So we're going to go 230 coins times 0. What did I say that was? 228? 22.8? Is that what it was? 2258 times 0.2258. That is $51 a day out of just ZIL. ZIL alone. That's the dual mining coin on the end where you only mine for 1 minute. And also the new network update just went through. So, you know, maybe 3-4 days ago, you guys may have noticed your ZIL went down. That was normal. It took us about a 24-hour update. And it seems pools the first day or two was just getting things tweaked out. And your ZIL rounds may have seen less. It did sound like it went down from 27 or 28 rounds a day. It down to 24, so 1 an hour. But anyway, so we got 51.93 coins or dollars a day. If it hits its all-time high, we times that by 365. So 1 more year until we hit the next bull run, plus a little more. That's like $18,955. I can guarantee you that the miners I have on right now costed 50% less than that. So ZIL alone could ROI all this hardware in 1 year just from that, and the Octa.Space will just be 100% profit, whatever it hits. Remember, this is speculation. This is what we do when we mine crypto. We're hoping things like this happen. For all we know, ZIL, maybe it won't go past 10 cents. You know, maybe it won't go past 5 cents. We have no freaking idea what these will do, but we're hoping they at least hit their all-time highs and obviously go above it. But, you know, these are all just scenarios that we like to play around with. I've helped build out miles of that, and I didn't even know anything about crypto at the time. Union electrician, miles of crypto mine. That's crazy. That's crazy, huh? Awesome. Oh, speaking of which, I also ordered yet another internet service. So I canceled the ExploreNet. I'm using my original telephone right now. Before the live stream, I just shut down the nodes, all those ETMC nodes and stuff. I shut them down. Actually, I left 3 running that were lagging behind about 20 coins. So I do have 3 that this round seems to be a lot slower than the other nodes. I don't know why. I'm going to reset them all after the next claim and stuff, and maybe they'll be on par, turn them all on at the same time type of thing and go that way. But I do have 3, so I have those 3 still running. But I ended up able to get another TELUS line, which I kind of feel bad about. At the same time, I don't. Well, I actually do, but because I remember I go to the mail sometimes and people are complaining they can't get any decent internet here. TELUS doesn't have enough lines and stuff or ports for them to get it. And now they're telling me, because I called in like right when they added a couple more ports, that I can get another line put in, and it's going to be cheaper than my original line because I already have one. So now I'm stealing from more people that don't even have a line in the first place. But anyway, I ordered that up. It's supposed to be in, I think, next Thursday they're supposed to come here. So I'll have another TELUS line in as my dedicated house line. So then hopefully I should be able then to start streaming in 1080, because I'm not going to have anything on it other than just, you know, the house stuff, you know, my workstation and that, all my crypto stuff, nodes and everything will be on the line I'm using right now, and then the house will be on its own. So I'm sending back that ExploreNet thing. They're actually said they're going to refund me too. I've called them 2 or 3 times complaining to them. They have note of all that, and they said, oh, well, sorry about that. And I said, yeah, it sucks. I don't want it. And yeah, so that's going to be happening sometime next week. So we'll see once that comes in. So we'll see. Do you think Bitorium will pump if Raptorium pumps? No. Raptorium is doing good things. Bitorium is doing nothing. I guess is the easiest way to sum it up. I don't know what Bitorium's doing. I haven't followed it. I do have 2 or 3 Bitorium nodes, you know, just in case some miracle happens. But other than that, I don't know. Like, I haven't been following them. I don't even know if they're still doing anything with the project. I think I heard something about them getting the community or someone. They want someone else to take over the coin. I have no idea. So honestly, I have no idea what's going to happen with with Bitorium at all. Probably 0, nothingness. But I guess we'll see. You know, stranger things have happened. I saw someone tagging Panda. Did Panda say something? Did I miss something? Where's Panda? Panda, are you there? Panda needs help building stuff, but I live like 12 hours away. Maybe I should drive out there one day and we'll slap a bunch of his stuff together. That'd be fun, wouldn't it? What do we got here? Hey, Panda was there. Oh, he's not here anymore. I missed him. Oh, I missed Panda. Rabid, you missed the message. Rud Putz has been... Did I miss the message for real? Hold on. Let me change this. I see a blue dot up here. Fan funding. Oh, here it is. Rud Putz has been a member for 23 months, almost 2 freaking years. That's crazy. Almost 2 years. Oh, he says that right there. Damn, time fly by when you're having fun. Let's go, Rabid. Thank you for pointing that out. I don't believe I missed that. I'm horrible at this whole chat thing. I miss everything. It's crazy. It's crazy. Will Panda Night trade ever once again? That is another question I have no idea about. That's I don't know what's going on there just from what I get, because I know Havoc was big into Panda Night and stuff. I mind a bit of it. But the wallets has been maintenance mode forever, just like Kaspa and Trade Ogre. But it sounds like too that's another community thing that the dev just took off and said, hey, you know what? Someone else take this over. It does sound like I think somebody is working on it. I just don't know. It's a very slow process. I don't know what's going on, but it sounds like, you know, community is supposed to take it over and start developing it or something. But yeah, other than that, I'm not totally sure what's going on with Panda Night. Drive out there with a Hive Mapper. That's a lot of honey tokens for a 12-hour drive, and those roads probably have no pics of them either. Yeah, that's very true. You know, I should. You know what? We could actually see if there's... let's go to Hive Mapper here. I just don't know if it'll show exactly where I am at first when I Google into this, so I just want to... Okay, it doesn't. We can have a look. All right. Here's the Hive... Here's everything that's been mapped on Hive Mapper. You guys see this? So... Oh, the ways out there would be... The ways out there would be... Look, Hive Mapper is growing. Look at all the places that aren't mapped. Northwest Territories. I wonder if you could throw these things on a plane. Probably not, because you need the roads. But Northern Saskatchewan, not mapped. Northern Manitoba, actually central and all the way up, isn't mapped. You know, I got to do a big road trip here. Like I said, when Hive Mapper buys me a new car, I should just do massive road trips and just start mapping the world. But then I wouldn't be able to do video, so I probably shouldn't do that. But yeah, it looks like the whole path over to where Panda has been mapped, actually, sadly. Yeah, all the main roads are. There's a couple gaps in there I could probably hit. I don't know, the color's kind of dark, so maybe it hasn't been done for a while. Yeah, I could definitely do some updating. That's the other thing that's good about Hive Mapper too. You know, is it's also based on the updating. That's why it resets. Every Sunday it resets. You get your payouts on Wednesday night. I usually check it Thursday, because by the time the payout comes, I'm in bed or something, because it's like midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning my time. So, but you know, after every Sunday, so that means Monday morning, Monday to Sunday, you'd restock your maps. That's why I drive. You know, one time I go to one town. If I got to go to town in the same week again, I go to the other town. And then I just repeat it. Every Sunday it resets. I don't go anywhere. If we have to go to town, I wait an extra day so I can get that mapping in. And so I'm not doing it on the same timeline. So obviously, you know, a lot of these roads could probably use an update, where Google Maps is, you know, what you look at some places, it's like 2018. Oh, awesome. What happened in 2018? You know, that was a long time ago since it's been updated. There could be a road missing at that point. I didn't dox your location at all. I didn't point to anything. I just looked at BC, Alberta, and Manitoba. There's no way someone could pinpoint you out of all that. Oh, but I see Panda's back. Yeah, Panda. I got to drive out there and do a lot of mapping. Then I can help you set all that stuff up. That's a lot. That's a big trip. That's probably a bad time to go, because now it's starting to get very cold. There's probably going to be avalanches coming off the mountains as I drive through. That my timing. That's how it's going to work. Everything's just going to collapse on me right when I decide to go. Doc Star or PM. We know he is in. That's a bad word, Fudweiser. That's racist. Yeah, you should have hive mapped when you went to Edmonton. Totally. But it would have been good and bad. That's the one thing I don't like, is winter time when hive mapping, because it's a very small window of when you can actually map, because you can't map when it's dark or anything or getting dim. So like in my time zone here, I can only map from like 9 to 3:30. It's actually getting a little longer now. It's like 3:38. I think it cut out the other day. But it's like peak winter time when it's getting very short. The days are slowly getting longer now. It's like 9 a.m. to 3 a.m. Summertime is awesome. It doesn't really matter because it's light all the time, but it's set in there based on your time zone, and then it doesn't map at that point, and you don't get any data. So you have to also kind of work your schedule around the time of day of when you're mapping. So if you were driving any time when it was dark or something, that would have been wasted kilometers, driving wise anyway. Racist. Well, maybe not racist, but you know what I mean. For those of you that use mining core, Cedric released his Kaspa code. Oh, did he? Cedric's been releasing a lot lately. He released the Kaspa code. He also released, he did a Zeph code too, didn't he? I think he might have. Speaking of that, not Zeph in particular, I want to go through something here. So here's obviously ASIC miner value, guys, and we know the top cars, GPUs. It's stuck in everybody's head, right? We're getting close to that bull run, guys. But the top ASICs is obviously still the KS3s. Now, Panda, do you remember what was the KA3? Remember before it released? What was it? Was it saying what 90? Was it $65 to $90? I can't remember. I don't think it broke 100 before it released, but I think like the Kaspa ASICs are finally like 4 or 5 months later, just now starting to look like early KA3s when they look so darn amazing. And so like it's crazy how these are still looking profitable. Now keep in mind, in 2 days, guys, we're going to see another block reward reduction, and the Kaspa price has been losing a little bit of FOMO lately and slowly moving down, which I guess is expected through that. But I want to look at this guy right here. We come down here and look at that. Now ASIC miner value doesn't really show you most of the profitable coins. They show you the base coins, like example X16Qs, anything ETH hash. It shows you like FW, I believe it is. So things aren't looking very hot. X16Q right here, 259. You're making a lot more than that, I guarantee you. But let's look at the X5. Look at the X5. It's telling you $1.56 a day on the gold. Oh, wait, that's Gold Shell X5. That makes sense. It's Gold Shell. Where's the Bitmain X5? It's got to be up here somewhere. Wow, is it like not even where? Oh, here it is. So $3.87 is what this X5 miner. Remember, it can only mine XMR, but it can mine actually QRL now, which we found out from testing the Random X algorithm. Keaton brought it to my attention. Now I'm going to be testing all the algorithms out to see what else is there, because there are a couple other ones around 2 million of a block height, so I want to try them out. But $3.87. If I actually come into here, I'm going to refresh it so it's up to date. Let's see what this is currently making here. $16.07. Actually, just before the live stream, it was at $23. So there's decent profitability, and this is only a 1300 watt miner, remember, guys. So I'm mining QRL on this X5. Has been doing pretty darn good lately. You can see the yields here and everything, but it's obviously like way better than mine. Technically, I think QRL is better than mining Zeph at the current network. Let me just jump into here where I have the X5 in my CPU calculator here. Let's see what's Zeph at right now. Zeph is 1171. So yeah, the X5 is better on QRL right now than it is mining Zeph in the first place. So that's an interesting aspect right there, that you're actually making more than mining Zeph right now. But it'd still be obviously, you know, depending if you have one or not, if it'd be good or not, if that thing would get an update to mine Zeph. And speaking of that, today's the 6th. I didn't check that. Bitmain likes to release firmware on the 5th. So let's see if they actually release. I totally forgot. I wanted to check this yesterday. I've been checking it like every day forever. And then yesterday when I actually really wanted to, I totally forgot. So let's just see if they did anything. No. So December 5th. So when I did actually put this firmware in, when inside the miner itself, it says November 5th. So they had this firmware for a month and then released it a month later. So it's going to be interesting if they ever do release the Zeph update, what the date is going to say in it, even though it's going to say a published date of, you know, January something, maybe February, maybe March something. Watch it say something like November 30th or who knows, you know, something stupid from like 3 months ago when it's actually gets published. That's going to be an interesting thing to see once it happens. That's, you know, no proof at all that they ever pre-mine anything. How many of your miners are currently active? Give me a number. Define miners. I have everything on minus my GPUs, to be honest with you. So I don't know what that is. Like individual workers, like I got a lot of CPUs, obviously, you know. Actually, I don't have any of the mini Doge miners on. I don't have any of the little CK boxes and stuff, KD box 2s. I don't have any of those things on. All I got on is the CPUs are on, the X5 is on, all the KS0s, KS0 Pro, KS2s, KS1s, they're all on. Speaking of KS1s, it finally ROI'd. I finally hit ROI. So like this is actually mining to my account now. Like, Legitly, this thing is ROI'd, they're paid off, and they're mine. So I now have the big Kaspa ASICs in my own possession. Well, I had them in my own possession for a while, but now they're actually mining to my address. So these are technically mine. Now, there were a lot of things that kind of went crazy in there. You know, this thing would have ROI'd probably 50% faster if I could have done it my way. So selling every day, guys, to ROI something, selling every day is bad. Let's just start there. So I didn't do the video on it. I'm still up in the air. I probably will sometime, but I got lots of videos I got on the back burner. Panda knows what he's talking about. He has a billion ASIC sitting there he has to get to still. But, you know, there's a lot of videos on the back burner, so this is not a priority at this point. But step number one, you know, just through this experience, and, you know, it was just a no-brainer off the get-go anyway, but it was the only way I could have actually got these miners, so I had to go with it. But step number one, never sell daily to ROI a miner. That is probably really stupid. Step number two, if you are selling every day, especially to something like USDT, never use the stupidest network in the world. That is Ethereum. The most overpriced, you know, the one where you got to swap over $20 and it costs you $1,000 to do so. Yeah, that dumb network. That's the one we're talking about here. The one we used to love when we mined it on GPUs. But now, so this is what was, I don't even know. I'm so frustrated every time I get into this. So anyway, we'll just go into the spreadsheet. Go over this kind of. So I'll just kind of explain it in a nutshell because I don't have like original price written down or anything like that. What I did. Oh my gosh, come on. This one? Which one where you can actually kind of see decently here? I guess this one you can come. Do you see this one? Where's my mouse cursor? Here. Yeah, so we can kind of go here. You can't really see what's going on. I guess you can here. So let's just take this for an example. So this is the amount of coins it mined that day. This was the price. So what happened, it was going through K1 pool and it was auto swapping over to USDT and then paying out, and that, you know, I had to cover the fees and everything for the auto convert and swap. And then Swift was getting the USDT stablecoin variant of the price. So this is the price, not of the coin at the time, but at the price that I actually ended up with at getting this payout to the address. So this is the amount of coins. So at times I lost like 1 to 5 cents at times on the Kaspa price doing the conversions because if an ETH meme coin was pumping that stupid day, it dropped like $5 to $15 off that daily sell price because the fees were stupid. So we add all that up in here, you know, that I probably came to an extra $400 to $500 in fees right there on top of that from just, you know, just doing some quick estimates going on that. But on top of that here, like, let's just look at when I first got this thing over here. Look at the yields here. And I kind of added this up. And here's like the first 42 days. And I mined 100 and, I don't even know, what is this? 161,000 Kaspa or something. I can't remember. Where's my number? I did something here. Is it this one or the other one? Where did I do it? Maybe it was this one. I'm trying to find where I actually, was it this one? Nope. Not that one. Nope, not that one. Nope. Oh, I can't find where my formula is. I put in one of these. You know what? I can't find which one. Nope, not that one. Nope, not that one. Oh. Can't find where it is, darn it. I might have to just do it again right quick here. So I'm going to quickly go to equal sum. I don't know where it was. I can't find my proper formula. I'm just going to click on this. And then scroll all the way down like so, like that, I guess. And then I'm just going to go like that. Bam. And we can see, okay, 161. So I must have been this one right here. I don't know why. Oh, now the formula pops up. I was just blind. So let's just say, so the first 42 days, I mined 161,000 Kaspa. And Kaspa went to, what is it, like 15 cents? Let's go 161 and then 144. We're going to times that by, what did Kaspa, what did Kaspa hit there not too long ago? Like, I guess I can find it in some of my ROIs here. Price, 13.8. It was 13.6, I think was the highest I seen here. On my fee, it was a little bit higher after that. So I'm going to times that by 13.6. That is $21,915 right there out of that, out of those first some days. And this thing ended up taking me over 92 plus that 42. So 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. It was 130 some days is what the ROI took. When in theory, if I would have just been stacking the coin from the get-go and then just mined until it hit a price of the ROI, this thing would have ROI'd way long ago, and I wouldn't have to deal with all the Ethereum fees and all these other things. So that's kind of where I'm getting at there. You know, don't sell every day. When I look at, like, even when I did my original KS0, it's kind of what I'm doing right now with the KS0 Pro. I'm just stacking the coins on their own separate thing, and then once it hits a price to where it covers the miners, that's where I consider it ROI. Now, whether you decide to sell at that point or not is totally up to you. Obviously, you want to wait till, you know, bull run time to sell anything. So you just keep hauling it in there. But that's when I consider something to really be ROI, is just hodling the coin once it hits that price and then go from there. Now, if you wait and the price doubles or triples in the bull run, obviously that's the better option because you're making so much more. And that would have actually brought that ROI time down like an additional 50 to 75% if it's on another 3x or something. So, you know, there's so many different scenarios to consider ROI based on that. Personally, myself, I don't even look at ROI when I mine crypto. I talk about this all the time. You know, that's the first question everyone asks. ROI, what's the ROI? What's the ROI? Oh, that ROI is 3,000 days. ROI is 2,000 days. Who cares? Step number one, don't even look at an ROI in a bear market. That's probably the dumbest thing you could ever do because, yeah, I was going to say 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 days. And in theory, if you wait to the bull market to sell your coins, it could have been an ROI of 20 days. It could be an ROI of 30 days, maybe 2 months. You know, it's very fast. If you're able to hodl those coins, you know, cover power and stuff like that, it's a very fast ROI, where it used to say like 1,000 to 3,000 days. Don't do it that way. It's just dumb. But, you know, I talked about this previously a lot of times. I mine crypto like I play crypto mining simulator. You just think about it. You buy one GPU. Yeah, one GPU, one, you know, in hardware in general, one ASIC, one CPU, one GPU. Don't matter. But in like the games, it's mostly all GPU. So you're like, I buy one GPU. Oh, it takes forever. I get my next GPU. Then you get your next GPU. Obviously, everything's in fast forward mode. It happens faster. But, you know, it takes forever and you just can't wait to get the next one. You can't wait and you can't wait. And you're like, oh, it's taking forever. This game is so slow. And then all of a sudden, eventually, you start getting good stuff. And then you get good stuff faster and you get more stuff faster. And then there's this one peak. There's this point. And Panda's already at this point. So he knows what I'm talking about. I don't know if he's actually at it, but he probably is based on all the stuff he has. But there's a point that you hit when your farm hits a certain level where it's like, it doesn't matter anymore. I'm buying everything and I'm going to keep buying it every single freaking day. That's the point where it's just like, bam, wow, my farm slowly expanded. You don't care about ROI at that point because your farm is ROIing something every single freaking day. So that's just how I look at things. You know, I'm looking at more daily spending money every day. I invest in the hardware to make more per day, not to look at, oh, the ROI is 2 years. The ROI is 40 days. I don't care one bit about the ROI. That's the stupidest number ever brought into anything, I feel. But that's just me. So that's a rabid rant. So who knows? Anyway, that's my 2 cents on mining. That's what I do. I just keep buying freaking hardware until I don't have enough power to run them. And then at that point, I look at what's making the most per watt. And then I just run things that are using the least amount of power and making the most amount of money per watt of power used, because I am limited in a lot of things. And then I just keep turning things on, turning things off, slowly try to expand. Hopefully this bull market I'll be able to, we'll probably end up moving, you know, maybe next door to Panda or something that I can plug into his shop or something. That'll be ideal. I'm just kidding, not that, but you know, we might be moving somewhere by BC here eventually in the future, but obviously be looking at something with a lot of power and things like that, overhead power lines to make things cheaper if possible, and yeah, things like that. Red Panda Money, 1,000 a day, a GPU a day keeps the doctor away. Yeah, crazy. But yeah, that's just my 2 cents on things. That's just how I do it. Like, you know, play it like a darn video game. That's pretty much what we're doing on top of being a hobby. You know, it's just about more every day. Like, and the whole scenario works. It's not like, oh, this is real money though. This is real life. It doesn't work that way. It's not a video game. I get the argument, but I don't care about the argument. This is how I do it. Remember, this channel is about my experiences and what I do and stuff. So like it all comes down to my very first CPU mining rig. I was gaming on it was a gaming PC, a 2060 KO and a RTX. Now I'm stuck on GPUs. Ryzen 9 3900X. That was my gaming PC at the time, a few years back when I started my gaming channel. And then I was like, all right, I mined on it part-time. XMR yields were pretty insane at the time off a single CPU also. It was pretty crazy. But it took me 1 year. Long process, but 1 year. I sold that XMR and I bought my first dedicated CPU mining rig off straight XMR, but it took 1 year to do so. I was like, wow, that's actually pretty cool. I can just upgrade my gaming PC every couple of years and it's pretty much free because I was using crypto. And obviously, I was watching Red Panda Mining's channel like we all were, and we were watching, Savage Mine. I was watching Serpent X. Who else? Cursed Mining was a big one that was CPUs all the time. I remember seeing him do that 3900X build of his friends he was displaying. That's really what got me hooked. That was the first video that got me. I'm like, I need that. I need 4 dedicated rigs. That's what I got to do. So that built me my first one. And then from there, it took 6 months. 2 of my rig. Now I got my gaming PC in a dedicated rig. It took about 6 months. I built my 3rd one. And then it took, 4 months, I built the 4th one. And then 2 months, I built the 6th one. At this point now, I could just buy my farm because I kept using the farm as a whole to cover costs of new hardware. So in theory, to me, it's ROI'd already, even though that's the dumbest thing in the world. But it's already ROI because what I mined covered it. Nothing out of my pocket, minus the power and stuff, which was covered through the crypto anyway. So that went into that. So at this point now, I could just, I could buy an Epic every day. I could buy this every day. But now I'm at the point. I'm holding back. It's the urge is there, but I'm holding back that now because I learned my lesson back in the Ethereum day. I bought a 5700 XT for $600 using Ethereum. This is how we started the stream off, 2021. We're in 2020 right now in 2024. It was $600 for this 5700 XT. I remember I was watching a Red Panda Mining video. I was like, oh, wow, these are the best GPUs right now. I got to get my hands on some. So I drove down to Calgary about 2 hours away. And I used my Ethereum for my 2060 KO to buy a 5700 XT. And I used Ethereum. And Ethereum was $80 then or something stupid. So I spent 4 or 5 Ethereum. This GPU ended up costing $12,000 in the end after Ethereum pumped this up. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. Right now I could go to eBay, I could buy an Epic, maybe 2 Epics, and then put them online. Or I could wait for the bull run, and instead of saying, buy 1, buy 2, I could just hit the buy all button and still have a bunch of money left over. So that's where I'm at right now. I learned my lesson with that back then, hodling to the bull run, and then take your thing. So I'm kind of stalling my farm out right now because we're so close to that bull run. I'm just going to start accumulating. And then when the bull run happens, when I feel it is time, because I plan on selling everything. The cycles do its thing. All my crypto is going to be at 0 by the end of this cycle. In theory, that's my plan anyway. We'll see if that works out that way, and then we'll see what happens from that point forward. Maybe it keeps going up and it is different this time, and that would absolutely suck. But I don't think that's going to be the work. I think it's going to fall back into another bear market like it always does. But then I can just go into eBay and I can click that buy all button. I'll go to AMD, send Lisa Sue there DM saying, I want all your Ryzens right now, thank you, and then they ship them over on pallets. That's what they do. I'm just kidding, but that's just kind of my perspective how I'm looking at things. Right now it's just going to cost me way too much for a couple rigs when I could just wait and then times that by 1,000 just because of the increased thing. So it's hodl time, no longer hardware buying time, at least for me anyway. But it's so hard. I keep looking at them. Okay, well that's on sale. Maybe I should know. It's really hard to hold back and not get more stuff. But that I always think about the 5700 XT, and I'm never gonna sell that. Actually, I got 2 of them. I'm never gonna sell those because those things cost me $12,000 each. But technically, they were bought for with a single 2060 KO at the same time. So, depending which way you want to look at it, we're always telling ourselves different things to make things feel better. I think that's where the ROI comes in too. and resale value. That's the other thing I think resale value is another thing I find really funny. Because when I buy something, I don't plan on ever selling it. It mines until it either sucks, and then I just do whatever. I throw it on display, whatever, or it blows up. I have zero intention of selling anything at that point. So resale value is not existent. I think that's something people either try to use for an argument on this is why I bought this because I can just resell it, but I don't think that plays a role in anything. I think that's probably one of the dumbest things too. Now you look at people and I got so many rants going on right now. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy, guys. So let's go into this scenario here. Now let's talk about, we're GPU mining, everything's picking up again. Now people sold all their hardware off. They got rid of it, but now they want to buy it back. So now technically, we are profitable at this point in time. And we're making more than the power, passing the bear market. If you're mining and the coins are pumping right now, yes, you still easily covered power. You're in the proper range, but it would have made a lot more if you would have just straight up bought the coin, especially if you're mining at a loss. We saw the numbers, we looked at them previous streams. It would have made more sense, but we know we're all addicted and we're gamblers and we're just addicted to mining, right? So we mine it anyway at a loss and hopefully for the pump, which usually does come on most of these coins. Now, people sold off a lot of their hardware and now they're seeing profitability come back. Now you got to buy more GPUs all over again and then try to get all your money back, which doesn't make sense. You should have just kept everything. That's another thing why resale value doesn't make any sense, because now you sold it all, but now you want it back. So now you just lost everything you sold it at, unless maybe you sold your 3070 at Ethereum craze days for $2,000 or something. Then you probably made a decent amount, but you probably spent it on something stupid, because usually when you have money in your pockets, you burn it anyway. So it's a loss anyway at that point. You probably went to McDonald's and blew it all or something stupid. But you kind of know where I'm going with. So hodl your hardware, get things if it is cheap. Yeah, bear markets, but resale value, I just ignore. As soon as I see someone say, "Oh, I can resell," I just ignore the comment in general. I read them all, but I don't even look past it. Same with the ROI comment. It doesn't make any sense to me. Those two things, ROI and resale, have zero value in my vocabulary. Anyway, that's just my 2 cents on the situation. Anyway, many people asking where to fix X5. Yeah, Keaton got his fixed. He sent it to a Texas facility number 2, whatever that means. But I guess Bitmain has 2 warehouses in Texas. I told you about that a while ago, Panda, I think. Didn't I? Didn't I try saying to you that they were getting sent away? But yeah, it was gone and back in like less than a month. He got it fixed and returned to him. And it was pretty fast. And it was up and running. So there is a facility in the U.S. in Texas somewhere. It sounded like warehouse number 2 is where the X5s get fixed. Now, how you get to there, I have no idea. At that point, but yeah, it sounds like they're getting fixed and fairly fast. Hey Rabid, I've got a couple ETMC nodes running, a little late to the stream. I'm trying to get my first ASIC. Which one would you recommend? I've done my research on electric costs, etc. Well, I don't know. Well, you did your homework on electric costs and etc. So did you do your homework on which coin to mine to cover those electric costs and etc.? Because if you know what coin you want to mine, you should probably know which ASIC you want to get. So I don't know. That's a tough question to answer because crypto's changed. Obviously, for the past 6 months, Kaspa ASICs have been the king ASICs. Obviously, the profitability is dropping. We don't know what the price is going to do. For all we know, Kaspa's seen its all-time high and it's about to die. A lot of people are going to hate that comment. I don't really care, but it's true. We don't know what's going to pump, what's going to not. Most likely, the odds are that Kaspa's going to see huge increases coming into the next bull run, but we still don't know if that's going to happen. We have no idea. It seems like the FOMO drive has been slowing down quite a bit on there. But we'll just have to wait and see. So, but, in theory, looking at numbers, the Kaspa ASICs are the top-notch ASICs. Now, obviously, if the X5 gets a lot more support, that's going to be a pretty good, well-rounded ASIC, actually, because RandomX, the algorithm in general, has become fairly profitable in terms of CPUs and, the X5 in general, if it gets more support. Who knows what's going on with Doge miners and stuff. We got the L7s out right now, but this year could see a huge hash rate increase in terms of, we got hash blades allegedly supposed to come sometime the end of the year. Jasminer is rumored to work on a script miner, and their numbers sound absolutely insane. And obviously we have an L9 that's going to release sometime this year as well from Bitmain, because it is in that 4-year period where they usually update their miners. So the L7s at this point, even though people are still mining L5s, they're going to look like a very dated miner compared to the new ones that are coming. So I don't know if I'd look into a script miner right personally at this very moment. I'd really want to wait to see what happens. So it's really hard because the ASIC whole chain is changing constantly. We just don't know what's going to happen. But it all comes down to price too, and your power costs. If you're fully electric and you got next to free power, it doesn't matter what you get. You can buy anything you want and mine on it, and you'll be profitable. TechMan and the hash blade. TechMan really likes that hash blade. He's in love with it. He's like the biggest supporter of the hash blade. I'm just kidding. He's still very what's the word? Contemplative, contradictory, whatever. He doesn't think it's gonna happen. It's fake. So let's just put it that way. So we'll just have to wait till the end of the year and see if this thing actually emerges. That seems, it's just huge. Like, it's really hard to concept 2 gigahash at 145 watts. That is absolutely insane. That is absolutely insane. And you could fit it into your motherboards. This is like something out of people's dreams. If this thing does emerge, like, oh wow, like I don't even know what to say. Like, it's going to be insane. Absolutely insane if that thing releases. Let's just put it that way. Now, Jasminer, if they release a miner, that's going to be insane. Now, I still don't know what's going on with the Jasminer thing for sure. Like, I know Fully Electric, he's been hearing rumors a lot. I've been hearing some rumors a lot. Now, there is alleged rumors of a script miner as well as a Bitcoin miner. Whether they come out, I have no idea. Bitmain is a company that is obviously big on ASICs, but for some reason, they don't compete with Jasminer. So it's going to be interesting to see what they release. And there are rumors of a Jasminer for Bitcoin. And if it is real also, like, that could be the Bitcoin miner for home miners. No joke. No joke. Like, seriously, think of 120 terahash miner on 120 volts, like 1,000 watts. Like, Bitmain has nothing close to that efficiency. And like, I'm not saying it can't be done, but look at the X16s and stuff compared to the E9 Pros and stuff. Bitmain has no chance in hell catching up to that efficiencies on their hardware. Well, they might hit it, but then Jasmine will just do something 3 times better again. But like, it's crazy what Jasminer has going on for them. So who knows what's going to happen. Now, are these miners actually going to happen? No idea. Zero clue. But if they do happen, that's a big deal. They make amazing, efficient miners. And that's one of the main things I look at hardware is efficiency of the hardware, because it does come down to how much you maximize your profits per watt of power that you use. And that's how you make the most money. Sure, it does cost a little bit more, but we do the majority of our mining in a bear market. So you want to run as efficient as you possibly can, especially when all those prices start coming down. But yeah, anyway, that I don't know if those miners are actually coming. It's all rumor, but it'll be very interesting. How much money are you earning per day on average? I just joined the stream late, so asking. I don't know, 3 to 4 million a day. Like, not much. I wish it was a lot better. It's not bad, I guess. Like, it gets us by. I'm just kidding. 3 to 4 million. You imagine? Oh, not very much. I'm not, no panda money over here. That's for sure. No panda money. And I spend a lot of it too. So I don't even have like massive bags for the bull market in general. I got some, obviously I got Raptorium on the sideline. I got some Epic going. Zeph, I sold a lot of it, but I still have the USDT of it waiting for the big dip to get back into it. But most of the time I do sell a lot to cover power. I sold like 30 and I swapped stuff into Litecoin last week. Like 30 and a half Litecoin I sold to cover 1 year's worth of truck insurance, the power bill. I don't know all sorts of bills that came up. The mortgage, lots of stuff there. So 30.5 Litecoin, whatever that worked out to be there a couple days ago. It's a nice chunk, a little over like 2,200 or something like that. No, that's not 1 day's worth though. That was a little bit. That's about 2.5 days worth. I'm just kidding. Not even that. It was a lot more than that. But I don't know. I don't really know. I never really worked out how much it is, per day or anything. Panda rebuilt a mansion. Yeah. 2 mansions. When I met up with Panda at West End, it was kind of funny because we were in the kids play area there. No, we had our own kids with us, so they were playing. But we were looking up, and underneath, they got the roller coasters and all the stuff at West Edmonton Mall. They have huge power lines, and you could think of it as like, wow, I wonder how much power is running through this place. Like, imagine owning West Edmonton Mall. How many rigs could you power in that thing? A lot of freaking rigs. Like, they're probably on 480 volt, and who knows how many phases. Like, it'd be insane. They got a water park, so you could definitely run a massive liquid cooling engine through there. You probably your own hydropower through the water slides as well for extras, if you needed. Like, it was absolutely insane. But those little things you just gotta dream about. Like, this would be a nice place for some mining rigs. Exhaust fans at the top already. Yeah, it's set up, ready to roll already. It was awesome. Yeah, it was cool though. That was a cool trip. When are you coming back? Your rigs must be online by now, right? Because I remember they were late to the date of getting them turned on, but I imagine your hosting stuff is on, right? Should be, hopefully. Hopefully it's doing good over there. RPM would win. KS0 Pro is less risk in my eyes. Well, yeah, that's the main reason why the KS0s and KS0 Pros were so popular. The KS0 Pro technically is way better than the KS0 because, the efficiency is just under the Bitmain levels. Like, where's I had a spread. Okay, right here. Kaspa ASICs. Do I have it here? Scroll down. Here's somewhere. Which one is it? That one? Yeah, right here. So the KS0 Pro actually came in at 2 gigahash per watt, which is better than the KS1, KS2s, and KS3Ms when they're overclocked. Just under the KS3s from Bitmain and obviously the K9 beast thing that no one's ever seen yet. But it actually came in with efficient numbers. Now, that's the big thing, what made them so popular in my eyes. And that's another reason why a lot of those mini gold shell miners become profitable is because it's the entry cost to actually get some type of hardware is very low. Instead of going out there and spending anywhere from $20,000 to $30,000 on a huge machine, which is obviously, the better machine, more efficient, you're less per terahash that you're paying and so on. But it's just the low cost getting into it and able to get it. And that's what made these things so profitable, is catering to the home miners and everything because of that. And speaking of that, you guys know about Gold Shell, right? Let me find that out. I'm interested. What do you guys think Gold Shell is going to do with their Kaspa miners? If you are unaware about that, let me find their Twitter post here. Where's their Twitter post? Let's find it here. Oh, nope. That was Panda Bathwater. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah, you heard that right. I'm just kidding. Wrong one. All right, here we go. This one right here. So right here, we got a Gold Shell cat. Now they got 2 miners coming. The small version, like the KD box and mini Doge and stuff like that. So I guess a KS box this could be. The mini KS, the mini Kaspa. I don't know what they're going to call it. So they're going to have the small version. They're also going to have the big version. They're going to have a big version. So I don't know what they're based on. So we're going to have like a KS Max maybe and the KS Mini. I don't know. But now if you keep in line, all their miners usually use around the same power, at least for the mini ones. Like you saw the new KD Box 2s, the mini Doge 3s, all this stuff. They use about 400 watts. So it's going to be interesting what their hash rate is. Now, it's probably only going to be about 500 or 600 hashes. But if they can actually... we can see Retro Mike here guessed about 500 gigahash, which makes a lot of sense. I put 400, 800 gig. Now, if they make it on par with, say, a KS0 Pro, same efficiencies, that's about 800 gigahash at 400 watts, which would be absolutely awesome. Now, we do know Gold Shell falls behind a little bit. You know, it's not really their fault. It's more because Bitmain and everyone always has the best chips, so no one else can get the best chips. So they got to kind of work with subpar, second best silicon type of thing. So they're not going to be able to put out the performance unless maybe they snuck something in there. And you know, if they can pull out a decent efficiency, we could see maybe 800 watts. But I think Retro Mike is pretty close to here. DJ Mine says 200 gigahash and the professional 1 terahash. DJ, you still in the live chat there? I think that's a lot low, but again, it comes down to the power. I really think it's probably going to be around the 400 watt mark. So from there, it could be, you know, 800 gigahash is probably too much because that's KS0 Pro levels, but you know, 5 to 7 could very well be possible for this 400 watt miner. That's if it is 400 watts. I'm assuming it's going to have a low power mode as well. But it'll be interesting. The professional miner, I'm not really sure what they're going to base that off of, so it'll be interesting. Now imagine if Gold Shell did the unthinkable and they just came out with some absolute beast awesome miner. I doubt it, but we don't know. We haven't seen them yet, so it's going to be interesting. But yeah, Gold Shell actually is coming out with some Kaspa miners, and it's going to be interesting to see how they actually prevail. I know we're all hyped up now, but it's probably going to end up being a disappointment like it usually is. But we'll just wait and see what happens. I think that 5 to 600 gigahash range is probably a pretty good answer if it's 400 watts. Now, if they drop it down to, you know, maybe 200 watts, then, you know, maybe 400 gig. No, that's KS0 Pro levels too. 300 maybe. And then obviously, you know, depending once we get those numbers, what's the pricing going to look like? That's the other thing that we don't know. Exactly. Yep. Red Panda Mine. If Gold Shell is not as efficient as Ice River or Bitmain, it's a bust. Well, Gold Shell has never been as efficient as Bitmain. Not even close. But, you know, they are lacking behind. But it's hard to say, too, because they just released the Mini Doge 3, and that thing just finally beat the freaking L3 Plus. So that is still way, way back. So, yeah, it's really iffy. Really iffy. It'll be interesting. Don't forget to drink. Yeah, I need to drink. Hold on a sec, guys. Attack bad. I almost spit my water all over my screen. Thanks a lot. Bad time to drink. I have a Gold Shell museum of unprofitable miners. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's true though. I'm actually starting to get there. I'm gonna make something. Maybe a gravestone in the back, RIP, Gold Shell, and then have all the KD boxes and everything lined up in front of it. That'd be interesting. Hooray. Yeah, but no, for legitly, they finally beat the L3 Plus, which is interesting. Like, where's that? Do I have it here? Doge Miners. Where's that at? Right here. Oh, I don't have it here. Oh, yeah, I do. I put it up here somewhere. Let me see if I can find one of these screens here that kind of. So, ignore the TP link, Laruda. You guys remember when that was, not released. It was a scam, but I still put it here just to look at its, you know, its numbers. It was actually really good. It was the next best miner under the L7s at 1.525 megahash per watt of power used. It was a scam, but the Mini Doge 3 actually beats that. So you can see the L3 Plus, 504 megahash, about 660 watts. 0.763. Now the Mini Doge 3 is 650 megahash at only 402 watts. So it's actually 1.61, which does beat every other miner now, minus, again, still the L7s, which is a 4-year-old miner at this point. But it is better than all their X6S's and LT lights and everything in terms of efficiency. And if we actually look at the low power mode, it actually lost almost half the power and only lost 150 megahash at 1.93. So as a little box miner, this one is obviously way better than the previous ones and coming in as the next efficient miner. It's actually pretty good, but it just took so long for them to get to this type of level. And then now, like I said, we expect more script miners to release this year. Sure, Doge could hit $1 and stuff, but we could also see maybe a 2 to 3x hash rate increase on the network. So, you know, it's gonna just be not that good again anymore. That's the big another unknown factor here. But what other hardware is actually going to release this year? L9 is pretty much remember, never guarantee anything, but I do feel the L9 is going to happen this year. Just sometime towards the end of the year, it's going to happen. As for the hash blades and jazz miners, no idea. We'll have to wait and see. But I'm pretty darn sure there's going to be an L9 this year. And pandas, you got to get through that list because I know you're probably going to get at least 3 of them sent to you. Okay, what do we got here? Is there going to be a giveaway today? No, I don't got no giveaway stuff today. Yeah, no giveaway. Unless Panda wants to give away like a KS3 or something. No one wants that, do you? No, didn't think so. Moving on. Rabid mining and Panda mining are the same AI. If Rabid meets Panda, a rupture in space and time continuum would occur. But it happened though. We were both at West End. I should have took a picture of Panda's feet and then sent it and said, "See, look, I'm with Panda." You guys would have known. Knowledge giveaway. There you go. I'd like a $1,000 donation, please, for a dry throat. I'm just kidding. Mental mining UK. Laugh. What do we got here? What do we got? Anything I'm missing? DJ mines. That's because people like 120 volt miners. That is silent. Yeah, a lot of people. No, that's a big deal. A lot of people do like, 120 volt. Like, that's a huge question because some people might not be able to upgrade a panel to 240. Like, remember, there's people, you gotta take into consideration, everybody out there. There's power prices. Different states have different laws. Some houses only have like 60 amps in there completely, with like the only 240 volt is actually going into their washer and dryer, and then everything else is 120, and there isn't even room to get 240. So, a lot of people really rely on 120. So it is huge for a lot of people out there. So yeah, you got to keep this in mind, and especially in silence, apartment buildings, maybe certain condos. You need stuff that is, dead silent. You can't make any noises or you get evicted. So a lot of these little scale miners are very popular for that very reason as well. You don't just look at things and be, oh, that's not profitable, I'm not buying it. But a lot of people do buy this stuff because of those certain scenarios. And there's a lot of people out there that are actually in those scenarios. Yes, 240 volt is more efficient for sure. And we were talking about, was it a live stream? No, it was in my Discord the other day. We were talking about this and I was like, you know what? Why doesn't Canada do what they do in the UK and stuff? We should have 220, well, here I guess it'd be 240 volt here through our whole house. Like, line everything up to 240 volt. On top of that, the whole grid system in general would probably lose amps. Like 50% of the amps would probably be gone. It would be more efficient on the grid system as well in general, I think, because less amps would be used. I think it would just be a better idea, but obviously you got to go through the infrastructure and everything and blah, blah, blah. But we should have that. And that would just, that obviously fix a lot of stuff for the miners out there. But I think it should, oh, a little burp there. It should be a thing. They should do that. Now, they'll probably say, oh, well, you're still getting charged for the same amount, but we're going to up your power price. But it still works out to be the same. We're just more efficient. P.S. Thank you for the extra power capacity on the grid. That's a kind of a joke. We were playing with that if they did that as well, which they would probably do. But it's interesting because now we have this whole electric car phase. Like, it's hilarious how the push is going. Just like what was, I remember, like, here in Canada, Trudeau has this thing with 2030. No gas-powered vehicles are allowed to be sold anymore. It's all electric at that point. Obviously, you got to wind down. People don't buy cars for every 10, 15, 20 years after the fact. So you're going to need everything. But, like, that is so dumb. So at pretty much 2030, that point on, he expects every car to be electric. Now, people are complaining about Bitcoin miners. People are complaining about this. Like, look at all the gamers out there which are using a lot of power. My gaming PC playing a game uses twice the power than it does while mining. You're not sure it's not on 24/7. Well, I know people that, when I use, you guys ever play World of Warcraft? Maybe some of these other MMO games, like even Ark and stuff. You leave your computer on and you sit there AFK for half the day, not even doing anything. That is still using up all that power. People leave their PCs on all night in the game. They're using 24-hour power. Hardcore gamers, that is, anyway. But my gaming PC uses double the power of when I'm mining on it. And now you want people using electric cars. everybody, imagine everybody has an electric car and they go to plug in at the same time. The world is going to explode. There is no infrastructure anywhere for that to happen. I don't know who makes all the plans, but maybe this comes in that 240 volt thing where it'll be everywhere in North America house wide, because they're pretty much going to need it if they really want that to happen. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. But there's less gamers. See, that's the interesting aspect, Bot Life Gamer, that you look at. If you look at things, as people are saying, there's like over 2-3 billion. Gaming is a multi-billion-dollar industry. There's over 2 billion gamers worldwide. Yada 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 yada. You know, I did a video. I remember like it was last bull run. I did the numbers based on, you know, the number that they said, 2 billion gamers versus, you know, the amount of power Bitcoin mining and stuff uses, and the gaming side was like, I don't even know. It was a lot more than a lot of power being used just from that. Now you add that in, if everyone plugged in an electric car, that's probably more power than the entire crypto industry together. So, like, it's insane. I remember it. I remember it. I remember Panda had a live stream 2-3 years ago, last bull run. Someone had a Tesla car, and they also had a 2 or 3 gigahash GPU mining farm. And I don't know if you remember this, Panda, but I remember it on your stream. And the guy in the comments was saying that to plug his Tesla in for the 4 or 5 hours to charge it, it was using more power than his 2 gigahash mining farm was with GPUs. And that's like, what, 2,000-3,000 watts or something. So now you picture everybody in the world plugging in at 2,000 to 3,000 watts for 6-7 hours or something. Like, wow, that's not going to add any stress at all. We can totally support that. Christmas lights in a lot of ways. Yeah, that dude in Vegas. It was the dude in Vegas. You remember that one? Yeah, I still remember that live stream. That was crazy. Was that guy? Yeah, he had a nice car. He had nice rigs. He had nice everything. You know, lithium mine. Yeah, there's all sorts of stuff. But it's pretty insane. It's just funny how an industry totally attacks another industry, even though something else that they are behind is probably 100 times worse. But, you know, they're not making money off that, so they got to attack the other ones. That's pretty much how, you know, we all know that's how it works. But, like, it's crazy. Chirish thought it was a gentleman's bet. What was a gentleman's bet? 28,000 watts per hour to charge a Tesla. 28,000 watts an hour. Oh my gosh. That's more than my farm. Well, you know, what is it? So say for 5 hours. So let's just find that out. 28,000 watts. I'm going to times that by 24 divided by 1,000. So that's 672 kilowatt hours a day. So we got to divide that. So we'll divide that by 1, I guess. All right. That's a day. How do I gotta figure this out. So we'll divide that by another 24 to get that. So that's 28 kilowatt hours, I guess, an hour. So we're going to times that one now by, say, how long does it take to charge? Say 5 hours. So that's 140 kilowatt hours a day. So I'm going to write that down. 140. That's 140 kilowatt hours a day to charge your car. Depending on how often you got to charge it, you know, maybe some people probably got to charge it every day. I saw people on the news complain they couldn't even make it to work and back because they lived 100 kilometers from work, so they couldn't even go both ways without running out of power. So they needed a charging spot while they're at work type of thing to do that. So that sucks. So some people, you probably be charging this thing every single day. So now I'm going to say, you know, say you have a 12,000 watt mining farm. That's about where I'm at right now, I guess. Times that by 24, divide that by 1,000. That's 288. So I'm going to, that's for the whole day, minus 140. So I'm using about 1 Tesla's worth of extra power mining crypto than it is to charge it. So 24 hours of mining at 12,000 watts is an extra 148 kilowatt hours a day over charging that Tesla, which is 140. So pretty much double that of a 5-hour charged car. Now picture the entire province plugging in and doing that. That's a lot of power. The battery is only 60 to 70 kilowatt hours. Electric battery cars sucks. They need to put solar panels on the top roof. My Tesla takes 4 hours to charge with 60 amp. Costs about $8 per day. $8 a day. That doesn't sound cheaper at all. How far can it go, Scorpio? See, that's the other thing. Now, picture this. Now, it won't be oil and gas getting rich anymore. Now the electric companies are going to be the new gas companies. What they're going to start raising prices. How much are those guys going to make at this point? I wonder who's really behind the whole electric car thing. Besides Elon, obviously he's making them, but who's behind it all? Probably the power companies, because they know who's going to be making all the money with electric cars. Those guys. But $8 to charge it per day. And say you got to charge it every day. What is that? So let's just say $8 times 2. That's 6. My gas car cost $20 gets me to town probably 2 or 3 times in the little 97 Corolla. So I think that's cheaper than having an electric car. That's crazy. That's crazy. And that's $8 USD or something else. $8 is 500 kilometers. Oh, 500 kilometers. Okay. I can't do that on $20. That's pretty good. You drive 500 kilometers a day. That's not bad though. If $8 can get you 500 kilometers, that's actually not too shabby. That's pretty good. But then again, electrical prices will go up, which means your mining prices will go up too. I have TOU at the house and I charge overnight. Cost me $6 per day to charge for 320 miles per week. Your Mach E. Oh, you got an electric car, fully electric. Nice. $6 per day to charge 320 miles per week. Interesting. Very interesting. I feel like the power prices are probably going to explode. Say they transition to a lot of electric cars out there. I do feel that power prices will go up quite a bit, just like gas prices go up. Or maybe they'll get some special thing where, electric car charging station electricity will go up. They'll do something crazy to figure out a way to charge people more on just the car side of things or something. You remember way back, I don't know, in Alberta here anyway, I remember when diesel was way cheaper than gas, and everyone went out and bought gas or diesel engines and stuff at that point. You could get conversions for your car to turn to diesel, and all the half tons and everything got diesel engines at that point because everyone wanted diesel because it's so much cheaper to run. Then all of a sudden, diesel shot through the roof. Okay, now everyone's messed over. You got to get rid of your diesel trucks. People go back to gas. The same thing is probably going to happen with the electricity rates when it comes to probably, even if they specific out EV charging only or something, they'll regulate somehow like a gas price and increase it. Something's going to happen because right now, it's like, oh, this is awesome. It's super cheap. I can run it. Everyone goes out and gets it. Okay, let's jump up the price. Now everyone has to pay for it or they won't get anywhere. Okay, what do we got here? Yeah, diesel cheaper there now. It's back to being more expensive here, but you have not watched any of my YouTube videos. I got a Tesla Model X, Model 3, Mach E. Are you fully electric's rich? No, he has cheap power. That's why everything is 100% profit. That you could, if you have cheap free power, guys, you can buy lots of Teslas. I think all people will be mad with high power prices. For sure people would be. But that's probably what it's gonna happen. It's a given. That's the way they roll. I wish fully electric hooked me up. Use vegetable oil. Use some flux capacitors and banana peels, just like the Back to the Future car, the DeLorean. Didn't he throw banana peels and all sorts of stuff in there once they finally got the thing tweaked up to be cheaper on fuel or something in part 2 or 3? No, it's part 2. Part 3 is the Western one, isn't it? I can't remember. Mr. Fusion. I think all the people will be, went through that. Hold on. Oh, wow. We've been here for a while, guys. We've been here for a while. All right, guys. So, I guess we're going to wrap up this stream. We've been here for a little bit here. I appreciate all you guys for showing up. I will see you all on the next one. Rabid out.